Yeah, welcome back to the GG.Bet Ice Challenge here. 50K on the line, and right now we're looking to send a team on into the grand finals. But of course, we've got to get there first. We've got one map standing in the way of Heroic in that very, very, very coveted spot.
Indeed.
But in the meantime, let's introduce ourselves. My name's Trace Rand, this is Henry Greer, and welcome back. Of course, we do have the second map of this installment. It's going to be Nuke, and now things are going to get a little dicey.
I absolutely agree. We saw tension starting to mount there. North couldn't really find their footing. We did see some signs of life, though. In that second half, they started to look like they were getting it together somewhat. Valde had a couple of good clutches, and that's what we wanted to see. Sure, it wasn't quite the double digits we were looking for, but at least they weren't getting completely blown out the water. Their CT sides look much better than their T sides. I think that's true for both teams at this stage. It looks like both of them are struggling some on the T side, but the CT formation of Heroic right now is just above and beyond what North can present.
Sort of like the above and beyond odds that you can check out right now at GG.Bet. Head over there and look at these numbers because, again, the numbers never lie. The statistics do not deny that right now Heroic are just a little bit favored here. It's not like a huge margin, but certainly after the performance they just put on that first half, basically the clinic they put on their CT side, if they come out the gates gunning like that, this could bode very bad for North.
Well, here we go. In the octagon, ladies and gentlemen, this two of world-class Counter-Strike teams inside there right now. We've got both of them from Scandinavia, and we've got players, well, viewers watching online in their thousands here, and this is brought to you by GG.Bet with a $50,000 prize pool. So far, it's going to be Heroic who have the lead at this point, but we'll see if North can bounce back. But remember, this is Heroic's pick. And Nuke is actually a bit of a cruel mistress for all the teams, especially if you don't play it that often. It's actually quite low down there in terms of amount of maps played over 2018. We'll see whether the knife round will be successful. Remember before we went to the break, I said the knife round could be one of the most important rounds because if North get that CT start, I actually believe they can do it. If it's Heroic again, I feel like the 2-0 might be confirmed.
And definitely want to see Heroic come out here with sort of like a phalanx formation in the outside. Now, Henry, I know you like to cast these knife rounds, so let's see what you got.
Let's see what can be done here. We will have Heroic standing there in the eagle formation, we call it, getting ready as they commit murder with the knives. They're going to be stabbing each other up, and it's just to decide who starts on what side there. It's going to be a clean sweep for Heroic. So just to be clear for the viewers, maybe in the arena of us right now, if you win that knife round, you get to start on the counter-terrorist force, which is the defense, meaning that you actually get to hold off the attacks, and it applies the tactical pressure towards the terrorist forces who are the attackers. And on this particular map, it's considered quite an advantage to start on the CT side, post good numbers, and really apply the pressure for the second half. So we'll see if Heroic now, starting the CT side, they've won so many pistols so far in this tournament. It's been one of their real saving graces, I think. Every single pistol seems to go in their favor, or at least they're in the conversation for a bomb plant, and we'll see if they can keep that form up. On Mirage, it was a bloodbath. Their CT push on the middle area, finding, what, 4 kills in 3 seconds. It was pretty unbelievable. As they just discussed their strategies now, this is a big game. If Heroic can find the 2-0, they are automatically in the grand final happening tomorrow, either against Na'Vi, who they've already taken down, that's the #2 team in the world, or AVANGAR, a bit of an underdog here, who have got a lot of firepower, could be in the grand final tomorrow, depending on which Na'Vi turn up after this particular game. But we will focus on this matchup first. Here we go then. Nuke about to begin, Trace. It's a difficult map to cast, a difficult map to observe and to play. It's a bit of troublesome for everyone, really.
It's all around a big old problem is what you're saying. But yes, that's right. First place in this tournament will be netting 30,000 big ones. That's right, 30,000 USD. Second going home with 10, 7, and then 3 respectively. But hitting on right now on the inside sight. Gabe's going to go ahead and open up the round with the frag, and Valde's going to get one as well. Not before Blame can also get involved. So already Heroic starting in the deficit here. 2 players left alive. They're going to try to have to take back this bomb site, maybe even get some headway or give their head away there to Gade, because that's exactly how that just unfolded. S-Tag, the only player remaining here, finding himself in the lower side. He has kind of sniffed this out, though. They've elected to go lower with the bomb. They're going to go for the plant. They're going to get that money, so that's going to help in the long run. And provided a miracle, if S-Tag could pull off something here, which he doesn't, that is just the round going very well in North's way.
You could see that S-Tag actually had a chance towards the end. The fact he had the awareness to pick up the Glock and actually make it a very close-range battle. If he hits that first bullet, he might have been on for the defuse there with the slow rotation from the third player. But either way, it will be North picking up a much-needed pistol round here. On the T side, that is massively beneficial. It's very difficult to get rounds on this particular side of the map. So if you win the pistol, you might be on for 3, but they've got to get past this force buy first. I'm not a huge fan of the force buy on Nuke. CT side, it's a little bit more operational, but on the T side, it can be a nightmare. As Mertz looks for those headshots here, he misses everyone, but he is aware that 3 players are very aggressive towards outside.
I mean, Mertz was a player we saw yesterday with Scout playing outside, finding tremendous success with this weapon. And if you could carry that over into this round specifically, they're going to find themselves in a really good position here against North early on in this matchup. But for what it's worth, it does look like North has already gotten a very good headway into this round, finding their way towards that lower side into Secret. And then it will be up to them to decide where they want to go with this. Now, the big push here is going to have to come out from, I suppose, North towards the lower side.
We'll have to see. They've got plenty of time to work with here. They don't have to commit. I'm not sure they even know yet. They've had so much damage taken at this point. This round is still on for Heroic. This is not a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination. Less than a minute now, and Mertz knows he's done damage. If he hits another shot, he'll probably get a kill. As he holds a tight angle here, doesn't want to give himself up too easily, as Asilian could be on for a couple of kills here. We saw this crossfire come into fruition yesterday. It's all about trying to segregate one of the players here. Asilian trying to take the aggro as he's smoked out. Leaves Freiburg with the Deagle doing damage here. Could be on for a couple of kills. If the push comes in from that MP9, they could be locked out of the bomb site. Freiburg rotating round as it now goes to a 4 versus 3.
Yeah, that's right. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Heroic's map pick. They did take the first map, so right now they're trying to close the series out in 2. And yes, it does appear as though they've started slow, but not really. If you think about the weaponry they have, you think about the money that they have already elected to spend in this game, yes, it was a force-up, but not really finding the successes they would like in terms of punishing North on this round, maybe taking some weaponry from them and, of course, costing them money in the long run when it comes to rebuying these weapons. That bomb being planted, though, almost certainly seals the deal here for North. Freiburg and Asilian just kind of waiting it out, seeing if they can catch some exit kills here.
It was looking quite promising at one moment there, and actually only taking 1 casualty. I think they realized the fact when they got down towards lower, they detected that crossfire towards both sides of the steps. And when you know 2 CTs are there, you can make a pretty good educated guess that you can fall back and plant towards upper and hold off the rotations there. Blame was the only real player that could have shut that down, but unfortunately for him, the squeaky door being shut gave away his position. AZ hits the close range shot, and that was the round at that point. So decent effort there, damage done towards outside. A bit of a scary approach there from North to go outside of barely any smokes with a lot of damage, but they recovered and win the round, so can't criticize it at all, really. As we get into the third, should be a 3-0 at this point for the boys in the North camp. As Gade completed his rookie season in 2018, started off in the North Academy team and then been working his way up the ranks. He's certainly a decent fragger, but has consistency issues. Sometimes you see some great performances from him and sometimes very quiet. He's still finding his footing in that regard, as the HE strike towards outside is delivered. And a couple towards their main entrance as well. You can see they're actually finding some kills here. This could be a disaster as AZ tries to recover the situation.
Yeah, trying to turn it around back on its head. They do find tremendous success early on in this round, and it's a very lucrative round thus far, as Heroic have not opted to buy up into this one too heavily at all. A couple pistols and SMG there.
The bomb's in the vents, Trace.
Yeah, the bomb being in the vents is definitely going to spell a little bit of disaster so far. North is going to need to recollect that with the 3 players they have remaining and try to get this plant down. Of course, plenty of time to do just that. And they're trying to see if they can get...
God,
that's not what you want to do right there. Barbecue.
He died because of it.
My God. Could it have gone any more wrong there? Valde on the losing end of that SMG. That one definitely hurts if you're a fan of North. And so does that one. And now this one's starting to shape up into a 2v2.
Wow.
Asilian, though, netting himself that AK from the kill he got there towards the door. Can't do much with it as he falls to AZ. Blame F, the only player left alive. 40 seconds, bomb never got planted. Didn't need to be planted, but definitely a scary one if you're North. You kind of found yourself in a pickle. You kind of found yourself stopped in your tracks. What are we going to do? Oh, I got an idea. Let's throw a Molotov at ourselves and then sort of scramble the whole situation around.
So just to be clear, let's point out what they were trying to do at least. So they're trying to get the Molotov down the vent, so if any CT was waiting directly beneath, they could push him off, grab the bomb, fly back up the vents, but actually landed in front of the vent, forcing Valda into position towards that squeaky door as CT was waiting, and that's where it all started to go horribly wrong. But they did manage to steer in the right direction towards the end of the round and win in the 2 versus 1 against Blame, who just had the USP. Here comes that first gun round, though. All foul for Mertz, and great shot from Estak. He was doing this yesterday. High-flying antics there as he takes down Kiabi towards the main entrance, but a trade certainly favors a tease at this point. Asilian knows he needs to get an actual response frag here. He actually sits right up there towards the trophy room, and we'll see if he can trade out more than 1 kill here. I think 1 will be his maximum, and so far so good for North.
Yeah, Asilian really not leaving any room for error. He did decide to play up very close and put a lot of pressure on that situation, playing on the other side of the smoke, but in this case, now it's going to rely on the rest of Heroic to sort of rotate and catch this north offense. It's trying to plant in a little bit there towards lower. No time for turning around now. I suppose you can full commit. AZ finding that frag on Freiburg. It's pretty much guarantees the fact that the bomb will be planted in lower and all three players being down there. It's now up to Mertz and Blame. Mertz with the AWP. Can't seem to find a frag. And then that's going to probably spell a save here for Mertz.
Yeah, if you get no outside picks, the AWP does become a little bit of an issue on the CT side of Nuke. You will very rarely see a double AWP setup, for example. It's one of those weapons that's great for outside, but if they get towards lower, it becomes very troublesome indeed, especially a glass cannon. You can see, as soon as Mertz misses that shot, he's absolutely done for. He was a former North player as well, and that's much better for North. They actually go up 4-0 here on the T side of Nuke. This is looking excellent for them. And this is where they need to do damage. We've seen how many good CT rounds Heroic have had in this tournament so far, but they've been silenced at this stage. You can see they've got another rough start to the round here. Don't really have much cash to invest. Maybe some upgraded pistols, a UMP perhaps, but I don't expect we'll see much more than that. So we'll see a scout for S-Tags. That's about as exciting as it gets, with some CZs and an upper rush. You can no longer actually sit above that squeaky door, right? You can actually maybe be on the hut, that's about it. And if you just go through the hut together, you get to trade out kills, and that's what they're trying to do right now. Gate opens things up. We know he's a strong rifler, and that's a great shot.
It's very true, Henry. And they're going to be punished one by one here, trying to find something that works, and S-Tag does that with the scout, taking down Gade. A little bit of success in this round thus far, and maybe Blame can find himself one. Maybe Cadian sniffing out as well. He's going to head back away towards that ramp area. And right now, this round is pretty much North's oyster. They just need to get that bomb site declared and planted. Blame and S-Tag. Should they want to walk away with this round with some weaponry, they could do that. And right now, they're kind of punishing North. Doubt we see them go for it here, but the exit frags are more likely the case. So it's going to be a 5th round on the board here for North.
It absolutely is. I am really enjoying what they're presenting here on Nuke. Remember, this is not their pick, but they have got a great team of individuals. That's the main thing we've always talked about North. And if they get this start, they get a bit of momentum. They don't necessarily have to rely on the defaults. They can just carry on with this and keep battering down the money of Heroic there, as S-Tag and Blame looking to save AKs here. Blame will be challenging towards the ramp. Maybe gets a couple of kills here, looking to lock them in towards that lower bomb site. All three potential. Has to pull up the CZ. Bowder will survive and remove at least one of the AKs, and that's absolutely fine. They've got a nice lead here at this point, and just making sure no guns are saved for the CTs. This keeps that money nice and low.
Yeah, and the money situation over on the side of North is not even something that they're stressing about. They don't need to call in any loans. They don't need any help with this one. They've already stacked up enough cash so far in this game that even though those frags came in late in the round and perhaps even after the time, it's not something where they're truly punished by those frags. But again, we're going to be seeing some weaponry come out here from the side of Heroic as they try to turn this around, put a first round on the board as we look at round number 6. Off in the hands of Mertz. Cadian going to go for this quick pick there towards the door. No one's going to be in his scope.
Well, this should be a slower approach here, Trace. You can see the odds coming in from GG.Bet there. We've got North as the heavy favorites for this map so far. Heroic sitting at 4.22. That's because they're on the CT side giving up so many rounds here. And another pick. Mertz is in trouble here, holding another defensive line. He has managed to trade out the kill, but it's not a comfortable position by any stretch. As now they know the AWP is towards lower, they might as well focus towards upper because his rotation is going to be awful at this point. Great shot from Blame F, and it's now up to Freiburg to hold them off from main entrance.
Yeah, Freiburg's got a lot of work to do there on the ground floor, but Cadian maybe finding a pick could probably bring some life back into this round for North. But for now, it does look like North kind of want to restructure, and Cadian's going to help them do that. The facelift is in order, and Mertz receives it. Now, Valde being all the way up there on the rafters is going to spell pretty much disaster for anyone playing in that upper site, and that's going to be Freiburg to the lesser. Now up to Cillian and Blame to try to stop this plant and do any sort of damage that they can. And 2v2, Cadian AZ trying to get this bomb down. A little over 30 seconds left in the round, so plenty of time to do that, but a little bit of a dancing going on around here. A little bit of a dance, a little bit of a square dancing there.
It seems like it, and this is getting a bit awkward there for Cadian as he falls back. Blame F with his 3rd kill of the round. But the bomb is in the hands of AZ, and he's actually on the lower bomb site right now, I believe. Indeed, that will be planted. He is good in the clutches. That's one thing you can definitely say about AZ, as he gets himself on towards the catwalk here and waits for the CTs to rotate in.
That's right. The 2 kits over there on the side of Heroic are going to come into big play here as they got a little bit longer of a rotation to try to get into this lower site.
Both going round.
Yep, and they're both going to be trying to hit it from the same side. AZ hiding behind this this here cylinder. But wow, he's actually got a really good position here. It could spell disaster, but no! Asilian with the big kill, the big headshot with the AK. And that's, well, that's a big round to win right there for Heroic.
Well, there it is. He actually gets off the defuse there to allow them to find the AWP. Blame with 3 and a great shot from Asilian there. Like we said, AZ is decent in those clutch scenarios. We'll see if he can continue that form though. But it will be the first round on the board for Heroic. And now at this point, they need to avoid the reset trace. Only 2 players survive there, and we'll see if they can actually start to build up their own momentum. At this point, you know the money's so low that if you're Cadian, you've actually got some tools to work with at this point. You have the advantage. You have the opportunity for reset. You control the pace of the game. You can start calling at this stage, am I going for something super aggressive? Are we going to rush ramp? Are we going for an outside fake? Are we going for the upper rush? There's a few options here just to really stay as a 5-man unit, abusing the fact they won't have maybe a full array of utility. They might not have an incendiary towards upper, for example. They know the money's going to be low there. So we'll see what the call is and whether North can absolutely destroy the financial stature of Heroic here.
Yeah, and that's the big question mark right here, right? Heroic takes this time out, obviously, to prepare themselves for this next round. It's going to be a very crucial one, because if they lose that round, they're in a bad, bad way, monetarily speaking. However, we're going to see how this round pans out. They're going to have to go for that AWP setup there on Mertz, trying to hold this North offense off. For the time being, it's going to be the standard setup here. Looks like they're going to go ahead and get a lot of leeway there towards that upper site inside of North. Mertz pushed up pretty far with the op. Outside, he's not going to be alone. He's got S-Tag to his right, so he should have just a little bit of room to run with as North try to figure out how they want to approach this round. Right now, they're trying to set up, trying to posture themselves, and that op shot's going to give away a position. I don't think they're going to know S-Tags here, so this could work out very well. Could be a little bit of bait and switch or a little bit of trade, or it could just be Mertz getting punished. There it is, the good trade, and I guess the trade of positions is what I'm talking about. Blame finding a kill as well, and this one's certainly going in the way of Heroic so far. There be an AZ not going down without a fight. It's going to be an awkward confrontation there in the halls. Now S-Tag trying to find what he can to keep this alive, but the bomb being planted definitely could change the entire tone of this round right now.
We will see. Good smokes, and now a 3 versus 2. There's a Molotov available for Kiabi as well. CTs know they could be in trouble here, and they've got to wait for that smoke to dissipate first before they make their move. Good flashbang, nice teamwork. If AZ gets at least one of these kills, their clutch is still on. Oh my goodness, he might get both. The spray control was fantastic, but couldn't quite connect the headshot there on towards S-Tag. But Kiabi with the Molotov trace, there is a smoke though, unfortunately, so they're still absolutely fine. Mertz can drop the smoke on top of the bomb and actually go for the defuse there. As far as I'm concerned, that should be round over. I don't think he'll have the positioning to actually take down the defuse there. Great work by Heroic, making sure they keep themselves in the game. That was one of the biggest rounds you'll ever play in this sort of scenario. You're 5-1 down, you're just about to be reset again, and it comes right down to the wire there. But they kept calm. They made sure they traded out kills, dropped that one important smoke, which denied the Molotov, and then the defuse comes in.
Yeah, I mean, even on top of all the utility they had coming into the post-plant situation in that round, should they have been given another frag there towards that window room, that could have been a totally different round in the long haul, because obviously that second frag just sets up for a big blunder to go down for the CTs.
Well, you can see how influential that round was. Finally, they've got North down to pistols here, and they can start to build up a little bit of cash. Fast approach from the terrorists, but it looks like the bomb has been dropped. They are finding a couple of kills here or there, but it's all for naught, though, as Heroic get their 3rd in a row. 3 players survive. They have a nice bit of utility and cash to take to that next round. They're on their feet at this point, I would say. They're actually in this game. You can see the odds from GG.Bet starting to stabilize now. Heroic starting to close the gap somewhat as North now feeling the pain. They had that great start. Like I said, they had options to really try and sabotage the attempts there of the defense, but Heroic now showing how good they can be on this particular map. They've chose this for a reason, and the rough starts do happen to the very best teams. You lose that pistol, you don't have all the economy, you don't have the utility or the AWP, for example. It can be a difficult map to hold on to as they get the MAC-10 out. Mertz is towards ramp. How has he survived this? He's got backup though from Asilian. The spray comes through, and Mertz attacking once again. This could actually go for an equal trade, and it certainly does. S-Tag's there to pick up the pieces, but I think he has to back off at this point. Luckily, Freiburg and Blame F strike at the same time, and it leaves Valda in a 3 versus 1. So that's what I'm talking about. North, they realized their success was found on Mirage when they just grouped up together and targeted one area. They're trying to trade out frags there. I don't know how Mertz got the first kill and fell back with the AWP and got a second bite of the cherry in that respect. But Valda, he still has a chance in this one. Takes the full damage there, but he has found the opening pick towards that upper bomb site.
And Valde, definitely a player that you cannot write off. He does have 2 flashes of Molotov and the AK to boot. So a player that definitely has the potential to do everything he needs to do to get this round in favor of North. But right now, Freiburg and S-Tag, they've got to be sitting pretty well. Freiburg's got a pretty good lock here. S-Tag finding himself there on that ladder. It's definitely more in favor of Heroic, given that bomb situation. But as it stands, Volley's going to go for this. He's got about 40 seconds left on the clock. He's got to clear these angles very, very clearly, very slowly and methodically. He doesn't want to be caught off guard, and he doesn't want to be traded immediately. So perhaps he can get that frag, fall back, and maybe keep the momentum going in the way of North in this round. 20 seconds left on the clock. He does pick up that bomb, and he's going to have himself the upper bomb site and the plant pretty much for free. 2 flashes, and this is going to be a big round for North, should he be able to pull it off and really come alive for the first time in this series. Volley, a player, again, that we know to have the potential to do these things. Flash coming in there for Freiburg and Mini. And he can't get it done. Valde falls, Freiburg with the kill, and S-Tag with the defuse. A very, very big round for Heroic to have won.
Well, there we have it. It will be another 2 versus 1 in their favor. That time, Valda definitely had a chance to win out in this one, but we haven't seen the best of him today. He's usually excellent. 4 versus 1s, he can usually win. 2 versus 1 there on a map like Nuke, when you have no information as to where the CTs are positioned. You get that bomb down, sure, but then you've got to fend them off, and they can pincer you from about 4 different angles. So unable to find another kill there, but it's 4 rounds in a row. You can see it's going to be Heroic coming to life now. S-Tag and Blamer leading the charge. With the frags, Mertz not as efficient as we're used to seeing with AWP. It's a very difficult map to warp on because most of the strategies are based around smoking outside and denying vision for the AWPers. That's why he's trying his luck towards business like ramp. I think he'll go towards secret steps at this point, just so he gets a bit more vision towards outside and can negate those aforementioned smokes.
And the thing about Mertz in this situation, just like last round, we're seeing him take these aggressive plays. We're seeing him take these risks that in this moment at a 4-5 game, it's definitely a risky thing, but almost necessary for them to try to get ahead in this one in one way or the other. A slower start here, and of course, a slower start for North on Heroic's map picks. So opposing map picks, we've seen basically just an all-around stall when it comes to the start of each game.
Yeah, remember though, these are teams that are rebuilding right now.
Yes.
It's difficult to really predict. It's all a bit of a dark art at this point. Who's going to be performing? It's really down to the individuals and who's hitting shots, because tactically they both look a little bit off. Heroic CT setups are great, but on the T side is where they seem to be struggling across all maps. But I have been impressed with what North are presenting here so far, and they're capitalizing upon advantages they've been given as they make their way towards outside. We did mention the sniper in the form of Mertz will be trying to challenge Secret this time. His teammates flash him in as he inspects towards the silo position. There are players towards main entrance. Does he dare go any further? Oh,
he's definitely on the precipice, and KRB is going to send Freiburg onto the depths. But Mertz right now, should he peak at the opportune time, could have some really, really quick and in the back kills here. Some really pivotal ones too, because I mean, honestly, the bomb is there. Could catch that out, get the call in, and then right away this one's turned around for Heroic, and there's the peek. He's going to get the information and the double. He hurts Gate at the same time, but now they've got this leeway into the inner sight that's going to give them absolutely nothing as they get melted alive. AZ the only one left, 46 HP. Just have a flash in the smoke. He's going to get Molotov, and then straight up burnt himself by a Cillian.
Oh, there it is. Great stuff there. Mertz waiting patiently. We were begging the question as to whether he would peak from the steps position. He timed it to perfection, though. We see him manage to push through from the secret area. Sure, he didn't get the double kill, but he hit 2 players, kills the first, legs the second, and then set his teammates up for a really nice defense there on the upper bomb side. It's a very CT-sided map. They started with a 5-0 deficit, but 5 clean rounds in a row. Heroic now are the ones who are looking alive, and we'll see whether this CZ purchase from North will be enough. They've got just upgraded pistols here, a few smokes, and they'll be focusing towards that outside area and try to get towards lower. The objective of this round primarily, oh, where's the smoke? That has not gone well. They might have extinguished it with the incendiary perhaps, but 1 player goes down now. 4 of them need to make it across. We'll see if that is possible. Lovely work from Mertz there. He drops the incendiary, but he's going to be taken down. That's the AWP given away to the team sniper of North. Cadian has it in the vents now.
Right, but we have not seen him be very, very fruitful with it thus far. And in this series and in this situation, it would be very crucial for him to come alive. And again, they're going to have to try to get in this lower bomb site and get that bomb planted. Ascilian will be the only line of defense there. And they're going to take their time doing it. And they do have plenty of that. Over a minute left on the clock. Bomb in the hands of Valdi. Now S-Tag's going to be there towards the ramp side to try to get some frags going their way should things go down here in the lower site. Ascilian trying to sort of pivot around, maybe play around this cylinder, and Gade's going to find the kill on Ascilian. So it has begun. S-Tag with the trade, 3 versus 3. S-Tag playing very patiently, doesn't want to peek without warrant and get caught with his pants down, as they say.
Now remember, Cadian does have the AWP. We'll see if this is going to be enough. They've got armor as well, but no utility to hold off the retake. Smoke's available for the CTs, but they're missing an S-Tag now. It's up to Freiburg to try and retake the area, but the CZ's just too strong. Sometimes all you need is a slight opportunity and good timing so that one player gets towards events. I'm not sure if he's detected at all, but Mertz, he was defending the secret area straight. We saw that. He gets the first pick. He falls back. He seems surprised at the prospect of a player waiting for him in the vents. Whether he just snuck down there and he didn't get communicated, I think that's going to be the case completely, but it looks like that's a lovely little play from North just to give themselves the AWP. Cadian managed to get 2 kills in the end, and he'll save the weapon and actually take the lead. So that's a big round for them to win. Getting any sort of success with just pistols is always going to be lifting morale for the team and making everyone a little bit more excited, I would say.
Yeah, they're going to have to turn this one around, and it has to start right now. Again, this is a very neck-and-neck game. If you're just joining us, that's right. The screen does not deceive you. GG.Bet Ice Challenge. 50,000 big ones on the line here in London. And the winner of this will be going on into the grand finals. It's going to be Heroic and North right here. 6-5 is the score on your second map. Heroic just 1 map away from securing that ticket on into those finals themselves. And in this round, we got a little bit of an interesting buy. Freiburg only having the CZ and the AWP in the hands of Mertz, so they've done what they can, and KRB is going to do what he can by taking out S-Tag very early on in this round, already giving that deficit in the favor of North. Ascilian lurking around towards that lower site, as we have watched him do time and time again. Meanwhile, Blame over there towards ramp, and Cadian is going to be posted. He wants to find this pick. He really wants to open this avenue of approach here for North. And he's going to let Blame just sort of slip away. No blame in that, of course. He's a very, very sneaky individual. Big guy to be sneaking around like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But 1 minute remaining here. Remember, AZ's in the vents. That is such a crucial factor here. That's so much control, and Ascilian isolated towards lower. Mertz, a great job. He spots a sliver of Cadian falling back and actually manages to bring it back to the 4-on-4. And now 45 seconds. This is where North usually struggle. The mid-round sequences, they'll get these advantages, but sometimes you can see them struggling to actually get that bomb planted. They get picked off 1 by 1 and can't make a definitive call.
Yeah, and then they find themselves with 30 seconds left in the round, and they're still being nibbled at the bits there towards the ends of the extremities of the maps. And it's really just something that sorts the fall apart here for North in these crucial moments of the round. And those moments are ticking away. 20 seconds left. It's going to be Gade finding his way towards that lower site, but he is not alone, ladies and gentlemen. He does have company, and he's going to be sniffed out. The bomb will not be planted. 10 seconds left on the clock. This has gone horribly wrong for North. We're going to have to get that bomb planted right about now. AZ with 17 seconds, or excuse me, 17 HP. He does get the bomb down just barely. This will be a clutch to be remembered should he can do it. And it's not smelling likely. He doesn't have any utility other than the Molotov he can use, and he finds himself in a very cut-off angle. Just gets swung on hard by Freiburg, and the round going to Heroic brings us to a 6-6. We have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, remember, it was North that won the Eco before, so the money's not going to be an issue in that respect, but still another big round there for Heroic. That keeps them in a decent stature going forward. Really enjoy the play here from North. They're actually doing a great job of making themselves down towards events. AZ's getting down there consistently. They need to abuse that fact more. They're not really pressuring enough, I feel like, when they get that massive advantage. You've actually locked off the rotations at that point. If a player's in vent, I feel like challenging outside and then pincering together is going to be a great way to actually get towards that lower bomb side, but still, they are going to be on pistols here. I did say the money's decent. You see, they could have got a buy here, but looking at the big picture, 6 rounds on the T side is actually enough. They've actually done a great job at this point. They're doing really, really well on the T side of Nuke, but they want to make sure they get a few more. And they worked with CZ before. They'll give that another go, but they want to focus on the gun rounds, really, and make sure they can post at least 1 more round here to have a really successful half.
And Mertz definitely finding some successes of his own. Freiburg's going to be trying to follow in those footsteps. They're not going to have any problem shutting down this hit. It is all gone in the way of Heroic. A flawless round, 5 alive. You're going to save all that weaponry and a lot of utility, too. Didn't really have to expend a lot going into that round. And certainly, looking forward as they look to close out this half, they want to sort of tip this seesaw in their favor. And one thing I've enjoyed watching this matchup is the very close quarters opping we're seeing out of Mertz. And it's definitely not something that we could traditionally say is like combat opping, or maybe the shotgun op, as it's called sometimes, where he's getting in their face, he's getting really aggressive with it, but he's finding himself in really, really close, tight angles where he's finding one frag and he's necessarily not sticking around, but he's peeling off and he's trying to get out of there, doing just enough to sort of put his team in that little bit of an advantage.
He's certainly a lot more aggressive than Cadian. Cadian is a classic sort of turret-style AWPer. He's not going for the huge flashy plays. He's trying to just go for the shots he knows he can hit and actually go for the round victories. He's not going for the huge highlight round kills, and he knows his form isn't up there right now, what he used to be with the AWPs. I think he's just trying to reel himself in and make sure that he doesn't give kills away by trying to be a little bit too audacious, perhaps. As we get into round number 14, we do have a Galil for Valda. The focusing on utility here suggests maybe the outside execution, more traditional stuff now.
So I guess the real question here, too, is like if Cadian doesn't pick up the op on this team in this sort of emergency situation, we'll just call it, who do you give it to over there on the north side?
Well, that's the problem, really, isn't it? You've got a massive issue with the in-game leader and AWPing responsibility, but there's a lot of question marks around it. They still need more time, to be fair. They're rebuilding, but here comes Sicilian. This is perfect round play. That's a classic. You have one kill, and you're just getting the hell out of there. You don't want to be sticking around for a second. You take that advantage. It's a solo spot. If you get away with 100 HP and a frag to your name, you've done your job perfectly.
You've done very well.
That's successful operation there. You can fall back, communicate information.
And now they're going to be trying to get into this lower bomb site, finding that little bit of resistance, and they do extinguish it. It's going to be a Cillian that falls. S-Tag kind of lingering around, and Blame quick on the rotation. So this one could spin right back in the way of Heroic. Right now, North just trying to figure out what they can do, trying to catch off some of these rotations in place. They do just that by taking down S-Tag. And this bomb should be planted momentarily. However, it does look like that frag coming in from Mertz. A very good shot.
Ooh.
A second good shot there from Mertz, taking down KRB. And now Cadian finds himself in a really, really awkward position. And he's about to walk right into the crosshair of Mertz. Oh, that's not a good miss. And somehow he stays alive, almost gets another frag there on the round. And as it stands, it's Freiburg and Blame to try to hold off this plant. 20 seconds left on the clock. And that Molotov, even though Cadian does have the bomb, there's absolutely no way he could have ran back up and sort of planted an upper in a sort of sneaky fashion. So now he's got a full commit to this lower plant. And he does that. Blame finding the frag, though. And Cadian falls. Another round on the board here for Heroic. Going to give them an 8th. And wow, Mertz staying alive.
That just kind of personifies what we were discussing before.
Yes.
He gets those 2 kills right, but he's such a hound for these kills. He wants to keep going. He wants the highlight clips. He wants that third no scope on low HP. He knows that's a huge play. Wasn't a massive risk. If he gets it, he looks amazing and really kind of fires everyone up. If he doesn't, they're probably still going to win the round. He knew it was a calculated risk. So Cadian, unfortunately, couldn't do much more than just planting the bomb.
And I'm looking at Mertz right now in the octagon.
Sure.
And now I don't want to think and say the words agile, but in the server, he's definitely able to get around.
Absolutely. He's one of those fantastic AWPers. You'll never know where he's going to be. He's a nightmare to play against because you're trying to counter him, but every round he changes his position. S-Tag's been doing it as well. And how does he hit that shot every single time? Takes down the in-game leader, finds himself a second as well. Is he on for a third? This is unbelievable as he absolutely batters the offense of North there. It's now a 5 versus 2. Gade and AZ with nothing left to play for. This is what we saw yesterday from this young man, and he wants a few more as well. And my God, is he delivering. The bomb is down, and now he's on for the ace.
Woo! Mertz closing it out. There will be no ace today, but there will be a 9th round on the board for Heroic, as they do have a really strong first half here of this second map of the series. Again, 1 half away. The first team to 16 does, in fact, close this map out. And if you're Heroic, you actually close the series out, pinning this win.
You're absolutely right, but S-Tag, that's what we wanted to see outside. These are that's the moment you stand up and you start screaming in your opposition's face, right? It's like, how do you like that? That was massive from him, just to really finish things off as well. Really fantastic work, and you see Heroic, like we said, that's difficult start, which happens. Like even the world's best teams can lose pistol rounds and then be punished financially, and it takes them a while to get back on their feet. It happens in almost every game, and then a series, you're going to be in that position where you have to recover, and they can do exactly the same towards North. You can see those guys not exactly looking fired up. They're already a map down, and that recovery and the way it finished as well was such a dramatic climax to the half. The fact that they just felt like they've been blown out the water there by S-Tag, it's going to be on your mind going into that second half pistol.
Yeah, and I mean, that slow start, it kind of, like you're saying, it happens. But in this case, for Heroic, they're able to kind of turn that around. They're able to turn the ball back around and get it going downfield here in the GG.Bet Ice Challenge. And well, if you're just tuning in, Heroic 1/2 away from punching their ticket into the grand finals here, playing for that big 30K tomorrow.
Yes.
But they've got to get through this north half first. We'll be switching sides now. We're going to see what Heroic can do on their T side. Should they grab a pistol, this could spell very bad news for North.
Just to kind of make everyone familiar with the tournament format, we have Na'Vi and AVANGAR CIS matchup after this one. That's another best of 3. That's the lower bracket final. And then the loser of this game will go on to play the winner of that game. And we'll see who will be joining either Heroic or North in the final. But right now, Heroic are in the driving seat, like you said, a half away from booking themselves a place in that grand final. And we see 2 smokes here and a Molotov available for Asilian as they hold up for any sort of CT aggression right now. Looks like they'll be focusing towards ramp and saving their utility for lower. Trace almost certainly going to be a lower push as Valda, great in pistol rounds, nice headshot and falls back as well. A
really big kill there from Valde, starting the number game off strong for North. They want to go ahead and try to grab this pistol, and they're going to do it with quite a bit of eagerness. AZ also going to get one there. So 3 players left alive, and that utility is falling. Cade's going to find one too. Looking like a flawless round so far for North. Mertz and Freiburg going to have something to say about that. They've got to find this bomb, and then they've got to find some frags to follow. 5 alive for North. And that was almost a frag right there, except for AZ. We'll be taking down Mertz, and now Freiburg. 100 HP is going to be wide swung by just about everybody on North at one time, and that will be all she wrote for the pistol round. 9-7. North pick up another one. And this one could tie up real quickly here, Henry.
I absolutely agree. Remember, that's both pistols now in favor of North on a map like Nuke, where they got a really strong start on the T side. If they let this one slip by now, and they have 3-0 starts, so actually a 5-0 start in the first half. If this somehow goes against them, they'll be kicking themselves. As we get into it, it is going to be the full eco for Heroic. They are going up with the AK-47. So when we say full eco, that means nothing has been purchased. This round is essentially redundant. The most they can really hope for is a couple of kills at the very most, like a bomb plant, right? That would be the dream.
Which is somewhat successful. I mean, they do get some money for that. So.
Yeah, so it's almost impossible to win these sort of rounds, especially on a map like Nuke. We'll see what's available to them as we step forward now. It's going to be S-Tag. Bit of damage inflicted, no kill found. Clean round there for North, but this is where it really starts to heat up at this point. We're going to see if North will be upgrading anything there. Remember, they had like 2 perfect rounds there. So they're going to have SMGs, FAMASs and stuff like that. They want to upgrade any of the MP9s or just go for an aggressive push towards ramp and to shut down any sort of approach they'll have. You have to remember, though, Heroic are going to be aware of that, and they're going to be having their own mind games here, maybe give us something quick themselves. And
also, this is going to be Heroic's first gun round in this half, which is definitely going to help the story here because 5 AKs coming out and some utility to support that purchase. We could be seeing them getting a little bit more headway than we've seen thus far. So they're not down and out. This is basically, now that they've lost that first round, this will be their first chance, except for S-Tag's going to go ahead and put them in a bad way. Getting fragged on, Mertz is going to make the numbers even strength, and we're going to see a 4 versus 4 here. Also going to continue his push there. He finds his way all the way into the lower sight. He's got to get his teammates out there with him. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a secret split. They're going to run into a big problem there. KRB's going to be waiting in secret, and AZ's going to take down Mertz in the meantime. Freiburg now looking to get something going as he witnesses his teammate just get bamboozled there from the big garage.
Indeed, not really much can be done at this point. He's being surrounded. It's a 4 versus 2. They know exactly where Freiburg is. It's a matter of time before they get him. At this point, the question mark is, does he find a kill before he goes down? That's about all that's going to happen for him at this stage. Less than a minute to go, and there's the frag from Cadian, and it will be Blame F left in the almost impossible scenario. We'll see if any damage can be done financially. If he finds a couple of kills, that'd be great, but fantastic shot there from Kiabi, and that's the bonus round victory. I speculated at the start, will they upgrade the scouts, the SMGs? They definitely didn't, and it didn't seem to be a factor. That is a huge benefit going forward now. They're going to have lots of cash, and it's quite the opposite for Heroic. They might have to take a little partial buy here. As the loss bonus racks up, they can take like pistol armor this round and get a full buy going forward, but a bomb plant essentially would be fantastic at this point. Let's see what their approach is. So there it is. Some armor, some pistols, 5 smokes. They're going to go for a plant somewhere.
And even outside of the game, this is the first time I think I can really recall North being vocal. I mean, they win that round. That was a big round for them to win. Now they can kind of start to turn the tides of this entire game. And perhaps, maybe even the match. Maybe it even spins around on its head right now here on a dime, of course. 9-9, the score line. And the pistols out on the side of Heroic, as Henry said. See what they can do. They're all grouped up, trying to work their way outside towards Secret. That's a big nade. Going to find quite a bit of damage there and going to be mopped up by Kayer. B. KRB.
That's his name.
That is, yeah, that's, yeah.
That all works. But will the plant come in? The question on everyone's lips. We'll see. It doesn't look like a very comfortable round from North as they post a double digits first. You can see the coach really trying to fire them up at this point. He needs them to be invested emotionally as well, not just focus on their own screen trying to find the frags. You need everyone to be fired up. Anyone who's not performing needs to get them on that level as well, tell them they're doing a great job, and just continue what they're doing. That's what a great coach will do, make sure everyone's mentally in check as well, not just focusing on the strategies. So that's always an important element of the game as well. You can see they're right in there in the octagon, face to face. We're yet to see any sort of aggression, you know. I want to see some standing up. I want to see them getting in their faces a bit. I think the third map will deliver that. That's if we get there. But right now, could be a thing with the CT start here from North as they get aggressive outside.
Well, Valde trying to take one from S-Tag's bush. He's going to be pushed up all the way there into that outside area. And a little bit of damage done onto AZ. Quite a bit, actually. 11 HP left. And now the waiting game. Gade pushed all the way up in the hut, so they've got the pressure on there. It's going to be Katie in there, sort of holding that ramp area. Heroic really got to find a hole and punch it here for the defensive North. They've got to find their way through this sort of defense and really kind of capitalize on it. I mean, as it stands, they haven't found any success here on this T side, and this is a round they really want to spin around. Freiberg might start off just like that, or he's going to jump in the smoke, get owned. S-Tag there for the trade. And Valde is going to have a trade of his own. So put your playing cards away. Valde is here to play today.
It really is. We'll see if he can continue some of his tricks here, though, as continues to find damage, but unfortunately, the 3-on-3 does fall apart. And at this point, we have to give the advantage back towards Heroic. We're going to have flashbangs, Molotov, and that's about it. They've got no smokes. Now, that's an important factor, because you see the map control they have is almost non-existent. They don't even have the lobby right now. That is a classic one-and-done position from Gade. If they time this incorrectly and Heroic walk in one by one, maybe he can get a kill and steal away, but S-Tag seems to know. Trade needs to come through straight away. There's the trade. Well done by Heroic. They maintain an advantage here, considering now the CT defense is spread thin.
Now, AZ, even though he does have 11 HP, is set up in a pretty prime position to find that kill. Not enough time left. Blame not even finding that frag does spell disaster. Huge play there from AZ to really kind of close that round out in the favor of North. And we see another one on the board here. Smiles as well. You can see him kind of shifting their frowns.
There we go.
Look at that smile. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it?
That's what we want to see. Finally, they're looking like they're enjoying themselves. You have to remember this is a video game at the end of the day. If you're not having fun,
this is real life, Henry.
What's the point? Yeah, but like it's nice to see those guys. They've had such a rough month now recently.
It's been a rough one, yeah.
Like, just to see a smile is quite warming at points. But there's the auto shotgun. That brings a smile to my face. Gade will be rocking that at round number 21 as he's going to try and farm some cash here. It's a great close-range weapon. Pretty much the only map you'll see the shotgun on is Nuke as Katie opens things up. North are looking like they're getting back into this one now. Just to note, this is a bit of a partial buy. S-Tag going for the tactical purchase of the AK-47, and we'll see if that's going to be enough to find some opening picks.
And one man not smiling, but all business. 21 frags on the board. Quite the savage himself. AZ definitely in the game today. 10K on the board, so definitely has done his part. 21, 21, 21. And now we're going to be looking to see at least if Heroic can get something going here, but they're kind of falling into this trap that North did, where they're getting picked off in these crucial moments. They're just being eaten alive and nibbled at by North here.
You're absolutely right. This is Heroic's pick as well. I'm assuming the third map is Inferno, always seems to be these days, and both teams are actually very well versed in it. I'd love it if it's Dust too. Oh my goodness, hold on. A few kills out of nowhere. Freiberg and Blame F actually managed to make this at least possible. Auto shotgun, not the most tantalizing weapon to actually pick up there, and Cadian should have this one on lockdown, but towards main entrance, Blame F, will he bait out the shot? He does, and now he has the advantage in the duel. Will he be able to actually take Cadian down and bring it in? But Valdez there for the backup. Well played once again by North. Still a lot of work to do here, but they've got the 12-9 lead. That was just a partial buy, remember, though. Yeah. We'll see if now with the guns out, they can start pushing rounds on the T side here. They haven't really seen many so far. They've lost both pistols here. Heroic did a great job in terms of the comeback in the first half, but now need to start posting some decent defaults, some executions. We need to see some fakes. Maybe the AWP comes out for the first time on the T side as well, and indeed it will. S-Tag, I assume he had the best spawn. It would usually be Mertz who will be rocking the sniper, or maybe there's some sort of formation they've got to allow him to try and go for the first pick. It looked like a spawn-based thing as he goes for the main entrance, takes down Cadian, but the trade comes in from AZ. That's
right, a big op here in Mertz's hand. He can actually turn the tide of this game. We get him activated in this second half. Definitely needing to come online like we kind of saw him do there in the first half. But in this situation, 4v4, AZ really low, 5 HP. And this is a huge round for Heroic. They're going to need to win this one to sort of start to get anything going in their direction, maybe to hold it together here on Nuke. Because when you turn the page, Henry, you want an Inferno, but I'm going to give you some Train instead.
Is this some Train, is it?
Train.
My goodness. Now that's... Oh, I'm not sure what to expect there. I haven't seen Heroic on Train yet. They've been together for about 10 days and boot camping hard, and that's a difficult map to throw in there. But here comes AZ. Hits the shot. His teammates should be able to spray them down at this point, but only good for one. AZ gets dropped as well, and this could be one of the first gun rounds for Heroic as they start to make their way towards lower. That's always going to be the best position to work towards, especially on this version of Nuke. No access points from the vents anymore. It's very difficult choke points to try and challenge the bomb plant.
Definitely right now, watching this bomb get planted. Mertz finding a really awkward happening. Gade really giving away his position there, but he does grab one kill on a Freiburg. That does help immensely now for KRB, who does have a kit. He does have an AUG, so does have that saving grace. And obviously going for this defuse. They have absolutely no reason not to. There's plenty of money in the bank for North.
Yeah, at the very least, just try and take both players down. Even the bomb goes off, keep them on the site so they lose the cash. You can see they've got so much wealth on the CT side. Mertz, this is such a risk going for this kill, and it'll actually cost him. I'm not sure why he even bothers. You know the round's won. They all can't be recovered at this point. Blame F might even go down with the blast. We'll see. Oh, he seems fine. They do get the AWP at least, so not the end of the world, but maybe not worth the challenge there. We'll see if the AWP is enough, and money's still going to be very tight. That's the first real rifle round victory there for Heroic. One player survives. That's why they're taking the tactical pause now. They know the gravitas of the situation. If they lose this subsequent round now, that's a full reset at the very final hurdle, and that could be the game for them themselves. They need this round to be a clean one. They need to break the money down on the North side, and unfortunately for them, when they take a pause like this, it's the perfect opportunity for North to discuss their options and how they might try and exploit them as well, and they can change things up and maybe go for a bit of aggression towards outside like we saw from Heroic. Estag doing such a great job towards the end there. Maybe they want to send 3 rifles outside and just throw a bit of a Hail Mary in there. Yeah. We will see.
They're going to have to go for something strange here, Henry, and you know, it's a really awkward position nonetheless. You feel like it's a gamble no matter what you're doing because obviously you can't know for certain that something's going to work. Maybe they have an ace in the hole or trick up their sleeve, or you know, maybe North is saving strats for the next major or something like that.
The next major, yeah.
Too soon?
So, yeah, a little bit too soon. And we'll see a double digits for Heroic. Just a note as well, Mertz, very aggressive outside of the AWP. So we are seeing a bit of a change of pace. He feels confident. That's the kind of AWP we are talking about in the pregame. Someone who wants to go out there and take risks, but he does cost him his life.
Yeah, he does get punished there. AZ really catching him off guard. Mertz maybe getting a little ahead of himself in that situation, and a big point of damage put down over to Asilian, 16 HP. But Estag with the quickness is going to try to turn this one back because as it stands, that bomb's going to have to traverse back into that
Go on.
I guess we call it the lobby. My goodness.
Sure. The lobby's fine.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's like Stained.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, Estag going to continue his dominance, but not for long. KRB has the better of that say-so, and he's going to fall to that M4. Gade in a really good position here. Should they elect to go towards this upper site, he has a shotgun loaded up there in the hut. Should be a one and done. He knows he's there, and he can't win that exchange. And now, Blame kind of has to open the door and say, you know what, let's go, guys. This is the site. This is where we're going to go. We're going to commit here. KRB has something to say to Blame, but at least Freiburg's there to trade him out. AZ now, 1 versus 2, and Asilian, a big frag, brings us to a 12-11 scoreline, and really the lifeline here for Heroic, really trying to turn this one around because I don't know if you know this, Henry, that man on your screen right there, Freiburg, cool as a cucumber.
He absolutely is. I was about to say the same thing. He's staying composed. He knows. He's been in this situation many times. If you get too carried away with the celebrations, it could all fall apart. You need to keep your eye on the prize at this point. Make sure everyone's happy, but everyone's serious at the same point. We are going to see that huge round coming for Heroic there. We did explain how important that one was. If they gave that round away, full reset, it's probably going to be GG. They managed to win it out, though. Great trades and managing to hit really efficient shots. I'm loving the play from Blame F right now. Fantastic rifler. Seems to be confident and great trading capabilities as well. He's not basing the team in any sense. He's making sure he's there every time someone goes down. He's ready to get the shot in. Got a fantastic game as well. And this is a pivotal point of the matchup. We are in the second map here of our first series of the day. Already a map to the good. Heroic getting themselves right back in this. It was a slow start in the second half and in the first half. They started off 5-0 down in the first half, 6-0 down in the second, but still fighting back here with 2 rounds in a row. And there is a force buy here by the looks of things from North. Let's see what weapons they've got. It's still pretty decent. They've got the AWP there. Shotgun for Gade still viable, like we mentioned on Nuke, and a UMP as Valda actually makes that weapon work to kick things off. He takes an S-Tag who has been sneaking down those vents a couple of rounds in a row now.
And Valde, a player that we know to be that crucial player in a game. He can really kind of turn the tide in the favor of North. And that kill alone should help that favor go in their round. But, I mean, it's a rough one here for him, Henry. Honestly,
Sure.
Valde, a player that we expect to have a lot of showing and a lot of impact in these games. And, well, I guess he's going to continue to do that. Mertz falls to the ump in his hands, and now Freiburg, Blamaf, and Asilian need to find some headway into one of these sites to get that bomb planted. Asilian's going to find himself in a very advantageous situation, taking down KRV with the AK. And as it stands, a double op there on Kadeen and Valde are definitely not going to help in terms of a setup that they're going to have to structure around here in defending these bomb sites.
Yeah, it's a nightmare scenario. That's what Valda has to just pit down the AWP and pick up the UMP, and Asilian making his way towards the other bomb site. Guaranteed kill.
No.
Somehow it falls apart, and AZ might save the day at this point. They know where he is, but it's too late. They're being surrounded, and Freiburg's got his plate full here, and so many players, and it's all down to AZ once again, who somehow turns around the 180 towards the heaven position, and he finds the all-important kill. Asilian did so much good work there, finds the kills in the back towards the garage, gets towards heaven. It looked perfect. As soon as he gets that first kill towards upper, his teammates have a clean path towards the bomb site, but it all falls apart. The tiny nuances of CSGO, AZ with the 180 flick, and that kill doesn't come through, and it all falls apart.
I like to think if AZ falls in that situation, that whole round goes in the way of Heroic, and it's pretty telling, but we also tell that Heroic is getting a tactical pause right here.
Just to compose himself, because that's one of the rounds you get really frustrated in. You know you had that in the bag with that sort of flank and the push and the position that AZ was in. He should have been dropped, but at this stage, Peacemaker coming in, same sort of discussion we talked about with North. He's got to make sure everyone's keeping their head in the game and making good financial decisions here. Do we have to force buy? What's our money looking like? What's theirs going to be like? How can we counter the fact they've got a shotgun and upper? Where's the AWP going to be positioned? There's all these questions. He just wants to give his input there and allow the in-game leader to make the best decision, which is a force buy with Deagles, P250s and UMPs. This is not looking good.
Buy him if you got him, boys. That was probably what was said there, and should turn out to be very, very interesting. A lot of utility here on their side to use as well, so perhaps they can get something going, but we're getting down to the nitty-gritty in this map. We're getting down to the wire, and if Heroic wants any shot at turning this map around, it has to start here. It has to start on the backs of a weird sort of buy, and maybe even something strange. They have to do something a little unorthodox.
Yes, I agree. We'll have to see what they've got. I'd love the upper execution here. Try and get down towards the vents perhaps, but that's what AZ's job is right now. Defend that spot, but it can be Molotov. You can Molotov through the skylights and remove them out of position. Executions are all about making the CTs uncomfortable. AZ is reading the fact they like to go towards the vents. Is he going to hold it and just be ready to retake? We will see as Kiabi will back up the upper bomb site here.
And still tons of utility on the side of North as well. If they want to block off some of these choke points and sort of keep Heroic bottlenecked into that lobby area, they can definitely do that. But as it's worth, the utility on Heroic is sort of dwindled. Now they find themselves in ramp room, trying to push around, try to get a kill or two in the back, maybe catch someone off guard. But what a weird setup. They find themselves in ladder room now.
What do you do here? The answer is you run up one by one, yes. They probably should have gone off that execution. I think that was their best chance. You saw how blind everyone was there. And now, oh, God.
Big kill there from Mertz. Finding that one dig on a KRB. But it might not be enough. S-Tag probably debating the whole idea of saving because time has dwindled down quite significantly. Mertz, though, having only that deagle. I'd say not a lot to live for, but he does.
This kill, that will confirm things. AZ looking very comfortable there. 28 kills to his name. So let's just talk about the approach there from Heroic. They went for an upper fake at that point. They smoked, they flashed, they Molotov, but they was actually so effective. We saw the CT struggling, actually trying to scramble for position to try and get away from the dangerous spots.
Yeah.
If they had just gone out with that, perhaps they might have had a chance, but there was good utility response from Heroic, from North as well. So maybe it would have been the same result, but either way, if you're going to dump all that utility to the upper bomb site, you might as well try and use it. They got towards a heaven position. And as you noted, what do you do now? You've got pistols to try and run up the ladder one by one. With time dwindling, it's not really an option, is it?
Should end well.
Yeah.
Should end very well. I'm very, very sarcastic in that. I mean, obviously, in that situation, not a whole lot for them to work with weaponry-wise, But with all that utility, you can think at least you can get a plan out of this. At least maybe, you know, you can give yourself some sort of monetary advantage in the round, even if you do lose it, which is what happens if you do plant the bomb. If you're just watching us for the first time in the venue or at home, welcome to the GG.Bet Ice Challenge. 50K on the line, 50K big ones. And in fact, in this moment, we're looking to send a team on into the grand finals, but for what it's worth, we're about to be sending ourselves into a third map, Henry.
I think you might be right here, unless there's some sort of miracle from Heroic with P250s, no armor, no nades. It should be map point for North, no problem whatsoever. We will see if Kiabi can just get a bit of intel. You can see them playing a little bit more passively now. They know they have full financial control. They don't need to give rifles away. If Kiabi keeps a nice range here, even if he gets dropped by a 1 Deagle, for example, if there is a Deagle on the other side, they won't be able to pick up the rifle. But making sure that's not an option as Valda, confident as ever, gets 2 kills. And Kiabi actually making sure they hit every single shot. This is more like it from North.
And even in this notion, I mean, there's no armor on the side of Heroic. Of course, they're going to get put into a blender. And it is going to be a blunder. And unfortunately, in this right, I mean, that puts North on match point.
Map point.
Map point, yeah. Let's clarify, of course. Map point, which does force the third map. I guess it's going to be a really rough one in that uphill battle.
The fact is train as well, that does not bode well for Heroic. That actually worries me for them slightly. But remember, even if you lose this best of 3, you're not out of the tournament. There is another life. This is the upper bracket final right now. And we do have another best of 3 to bring you today. That's going to be AVANGAR versus Na'Vi. But back to this one. Everything on the line now. Heroic have 1 life left. They need 4 rounds in a row on the T side of Nuke. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll be more than happy to be proven wrong, to be honest.
Yes, and this is their shot at it right now. Quite literally, they have invested heavily into this round. They do have all the weaponry and everything that they could afford, a full buyout, as we'd call it. 15-11, a lot of comeback needing to happen here for Heroic. And they're going to be taking this one ever so slowly and diligently. Looking to get something going here early on. They need to find a pick. They need to find some way to exploit North for feeling this comfort that they found and finding a series of round after round after round of success. You have to think of your North, like, you know, we can pretty much do anything at this point. We're kind of invincible.
It's one of those situations, you are right. You know you can take some risks. That's the main thing. You're not actually hiding and thinking we could lose this one. You know it's in the bag. You can style on them a little bit here. You can go for some big plays like Valda's doing right now. He's ready for him. He gets that first pick. It looks like we'll be going to a third as he plucks Freiburg out from the air. 5 versus 3 now, and they've got barely anything left to work with here. Time is ticking away. They've got a couple of smokes, and 1 round separates North from making it to train.
And unfortunately for Heroic, they put themselves in a situation where that was the only play they could go for, was to perhaps trade on Freiburg and keep the number games somewhat even. In this situation, though, they've kind of put themselves in a backs against the wall scenario. Cadian finding 1 frag with the AWP, starting to spell the end here as KRB also chimes in. Mertz left alone, finds 1, can't find a second, and that's going to be the map in the way of North. 16-11 here on Nuke. And boys and girls, we are going to a third map here at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge. It's going to be a little bit of the train yards.
Oh, there we go. We are hoping to go to a third. This Scandinavian derby really is getting exciting now. So let's just break that one down quickly. This was Heroic's pick, but remember they had rough starts on both sides of the map there. A 0-5 start on their CT side, a 0-6 on the second half as well. It took a lot to get back into it, but finally we're seeing some pistol rounds there from North. It's looking like it's coming together on their T sides as well. That's what we needed to see some of the big names set up on that T side. Simpler approach as well. They're sticking together, making sure they hit their shots, and that has been the problem throughout this tournament, in my opinion. They've been really trying to overcomplicate things with the defaults. They've got hard-hitting players, a lot of talent there as well. Let's use what's available to us and just keep it simple, hit the shots, and run over people. Yeah,
I mean, they're definitely going to have to come together on both sides of this, right? Or either a North or Heroic are going to have to come back in this third map and say, you know what, clean slate. We've got 1 map on our hands. Let's treat it as if it's sort of like a best-of-1 environment. And perhaps in that moment, we can sort of thrive on what works best on our strong sides. But our strong sides rely here at GG.Bet. Go ahead and check them out. We're going to go to a quick break because when we come back, we do have Train, and it's coming your way. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.